Hello, hello, hello. All right.
You're a good-looking guy. Happy New Year. The audio levels are up, so we should be fine now. Um, we, Scarlett. Yeah, we had the wrong. There's like two versions of the chords for the Focusrite, and we tried one of them. And
Hello,
it was bad.
hello,
And
hello.
Smaha told us it didn't work, so we just used the other one.
It's UMass Women's.
So, anyways, yeah, I think we're good. Thanks so much.
Basketball. Oh, you want it? You want. It's a beautiful day for basketball in Western Massachusetts on this New Year's Eve day, as the UMass Minutewomen play host to the Western Michigan Broncos, as both teams look for their first win in the conference play this season.
And it's going to be a fun one, Beckett. Both teams coming in.
Yeah. It's New Year's Eve, which means there's basketball to be played in Amherst, Massachusetts. It's the UMass Minutewomen versus the Western Michigan Broncos on 91.1 WMUA Sports YouTube.
Beckett, I am so excited to be with you today. It's going to be a fun game. This Western Michigan team calling from all the way from Kalamazoo.
Here on the WMUA Sports YouTube, it's UMass women's basketball versus the Western Michigan Broncos.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun one, Beckett. These two teams coming in hot. One really hot, and the other not very hot at all.
It's been 39 days since the UMass Minutewomen played at home their last game against Boston College on November 22nd. They won it 51 to 52 or 61 to 52, but they went on a long 5-game road trip into December, and now on New Year's Eve day, they start their MAC journey against the Western Michigan Broncos. Zeke Altman Beckett's story on the call here. And Zeke, what do you like to see?
Well, first of all, like you said, long road trip. We talked to Mike Leffler before the game, and he said, it's not that different. It's not that different for the road for us. We keep it light. We go to Cheesecake Factory Northeastern. We get ice cream. So this team has a routine. They're ready to go, but I'm sure hoping they're ready to go at home because a MAC opener, the stakes are high, Beckett.
Absolutely. It's going to be a great game. UMass had a bit of an up and down road trip. They did take 2 losses, their first loss of the season to Army. We were there on the call for that, a gut-wrenching loss really in the final quarter, but Army just couldn't miss. And then they went to the FIU Christmas Classic. They beat FIU in the first game, and in the second game they fell to Youngstown State. What did you see there?
I thought the 2 losses were very, very similar. I thought they didn't play their best basketball for all 40 minutes. And Mike Leffler said it. We need to be focused for the whole 40 minutes. In the games they've won, they have focus on the stuff that get them to be successful. So Mike Leffler said we need to refocus and find the things that made us successful at the beginning of the season and get back to those things.
Well, they had a nice break, and in that Leffler talked to his team about coming into this conference play at 8-2. They're going to have a target on their backs. Every other team is going to want to be playing up to their ability in these games. And so for UMass, they need to understand that they are on a trajectory to win these games, but they also know that they need to get better. And that's something that Mike was telling us.
Oh, for sure, Beckett. And just think about it. Like the mentality you would have if you're Western Michigan coming into the UMass gym today. You're playing an 8-2 team. They're on fire. Wouldn't they love to travel all the way to Massachusetts and steal one on the road against a team hot as fire? Wouldn't you want that? Well, Western Michigan are going to try their best. It's about UMass playing their game and being successful.
Absolutely. Well, for Western Michigan, 3-7 on the year. This is their first game of MAC play, so they're 0-0 in that regard. First year of Coach Kate Achter's career. And she's had a really impressive coaching resume, but now coming to Western Michigan and trying to find continued success in the conference where she used to play as a player.
Well, it's so funny you mention it. She has turned around 2 programs. At Loyola Chicago, she went from 2-28 to 18-12. Then went to Detroit Mercy, went from 1-29 to 32 wins over 2 years. That is just incredible. So Mike Leffler has a challenge for her.
He certainly does. It's going to be a good one. No game is ever going to be decided before it starts. So we are ready. UMass and their home whites, Chineo Denabo, ready to tip off.
Interesting.
For the minute.
Deanna Richardson not active for these Broncos. Obviously one of their best bench pieces. So interesting to see how they adjust to that. What players play more minutes today?
Significant injury for this team. Their second leading scorer with 8.4 points per game this season. The redshirt senior played in just 18 games last season as well, so maybe the injury bug going around. 10 minutes to play in the first quarter, and the tip is one. Tip to Megan Olbreeze, handed off to Yamani McHale, and the Minute Women start with it. Yamani McHale, near side wing, gets a screen from Megan Olbreeze. Now passes it to the top to Odenabo. Throws it into the corner for Palmieri, but that's tipped out of bounds by Starks. Good hands there.
Yeah, just trying to get the rock to everyone's hands, get a feel for it in the early stages of this game. They have to come out strong, UMass.
Here's Ayanna Franks to inbound for the Minute Women. Yamani McHale now on the M of the Power U. 9:43 to go in the first quarter. Yamani McHale now, near side wing, gets a screen. Olbreeze again, now to the top of the key for
distant this year. Has these games like Harvard, like BC, where she's hot as thunder, but sometimes just not getting the shot to fall.
Western Michigan passing the ball around. Near side wing, here's Carlson. She'll drop it off to Wilkes at the top of the key. Now throwing it around. Shot up in the air and no good. That's Mukira Orb for Western Michigan, and it stays 0-0 with 9:06 to go in the first.
Yeah, a couple good defensive possessions from UMass to start this game, really enforcing their will.
Here's Megan Olbreeze right near that low block. She loves that spot. She's trying to back down Wilkes. Hand in there from Carlson, nearly gets it, but now back to Yamani McHale. 11 seconds on the shot clock, drives left, takes a step back. They'll call a travel on Yamani McHale, the first turnover of the day for UMass.
Yeah, that pivot foot just dragged a little bit, giving them the travel call there, but UMass struggling to find some offensive rhythm consistency early.
And a quick foul. No, excuse me, not a foul. They'll call a double dribble there on Carlson. A good job by Megan Olbreeze to pressure her on the cut. And so now Odenabo to inbound to Yamani McHale. 0-0, still our score. 8:38 to go in the first quarter. It's UMass hosting Western Michigan. Here's Yamani McHale, near side wing. Throws it in, Olbreeze. And there's a foul called on that cut. She was draped by two Broncos defenders.
You know, something UMass had an issue with in the Youngstown State game as well as the Army game is the entry pass into Megan Olbreeze on the block. That's something they struggled with a lot of the season.
Quick trigger, Olbreeze from the charity stripe, and that'll go. The first points of the ball game with 8:21 to go.
A great look there for Megan Olbreeze from the wide open mid-range shot.
Wide open for Starks on the other end. UMass does not get back in transition, and the Broncos are able to tie it at 2. Franks into Olbreeze. Olbreeze, good dump off Odenabo on the cut, and that's 2 more for UMass. Toss up ahead. Starks moving quickly again, but that time blows the layup. Here is Ayanna Franks for UMass. She'll slow it down, gets it off to Chiney Odenabo, who gets it in the paint to Olbreeze, throws it into the corner for Palmieri. Now to Franks. Franks will try the 3, why not? But that goes off the back of the rim and out. 4-2, UMass leads, 7:32 to go in the first quarter. Cross-court pass. Now into the low block for Demaja Bowles. Far side wing 3, that'll be good for Allie Carlson. Carlson shot 40% from 3 last year, down to 29 this year, but a good start for her as she gives the Broncos their first lead of the game.
Yeah, one of the facilitators for this team. Number 4 in assists per game in the MAC. So when she's not shooting well, she is distributing at a high rate.
Absolutely, and it's interesting to see. She's also tied 4th in the MAC in assists per game with Yamani McHale. Inbound to Megan Olbreeze, a little too strong there. Odenabo gets the miss, but isn't able to finish through contact. Starks running the floor once again. Another missed layup there for Starks. She's had 2 open layups on the last 2 possessions. 5-4. The Broncos still lead. Corner for Allie Palmieri. She'll bounce it into Odenabo. A little too strong. Tries to get her own miss. That'll go out of bounds off of the center.
I just want to go back to the transition defense from UMass. It just hasn't been good, as well as the press. Obviously, they are going to press the basketball, but on too many occasions in this game, Western Michigan have found wide open Broncos down the floor for wide open layups.
UMass attempting to press on that one to no avail. Starks to the corner for Carlson. Another 3 will be good. Call that the near side wing, but Carlson's 2 for 2 in the early going with 6 points, and the Broncos have a 4-point lead. Yamani McHale will say, I can try it too. Does not go that time, but lands in the hands of Odenabo. Now to Allie Palmieri. She'll drive with the left hand, spins around into the painted area. Turnaround 2-point jumper off the front of the rim, no good. But Lily Ferguson, who checked in the game, immediately making an impact for the Minutewomen.
Yeah, Lily Ferguson was someone that didn't play that many minutes at the beginning of the season, but her impact on the road has brought her up the ranks, especially in the offensive rebound category, now up to 14th in the MAC in that stat.
Inbound to Ayanna Franks. Quick trigger 2-pointer off the front of the rim. UMass has started this game 2 of 9 from the field. Odenabo able to jump on the ball on the floor. That'll be a jump ball. The possession arrow favors Western Michigan this time.
You know, it's so interesting when you talk about Shanae Odenabo, right? Mike Leffler talked about her as the best player in the spring going into this season, but she's developed even more. They're using her on the low block, using her in different sets offensively to get her in a position to shoot the basketball. That is the first time in her career she has been in a spot that she is the offensive standpoint.
An effective trap for the Minute Women gets them a turnover on that possession. And as you were saying, Zeke, Mike Leffler told us he really wants Odenabo to be more aggressive. He wants her to call her own number more, and it seems like in the early going she has done that.
Yeah, a couple opportunities, and she's not just a defensive rebounding player. She can be more than that.
UMass down 4. It's 8-4 Western Michigan. 5:41 to go in the first quarter. Yamani McHale, near side wing. Step back, three-pointer. Oh, yeah. Yamani McHale, smooth as ever. Coming off a career-high 25 points last time out.
40% from the three. That's something she's developed so well this season.
Yamani McHale playing defense on Carlson. Now into the corner. They'll call a travel. That time, Olivia Flynn, the freshman. First minutes into the game, and a quick error from her.
This is something Western Michigan struggles heavily with, turnover margin and just turnovers in general. Last in the MAC in that category.
Something UMass will really need to capitalize off of, especially such a strong transition team. Here's Franks near the charity stripe, passes it off to Lily Ferguson. Ferguson screen to Yamani McHale. She'll try a floater into the painted area, slightly too strong. And Ferguson gets called for a foul on that attempt to steal the rebound away. And we will get our first time out of the game. We will take it. It's 8-7 Western Michigan with 4:55 to go in the first quarter. You're listening to UMass Women's Basketball on the WMUA YouTube. We'll be back in just a moment. Back here in Amherst, Massachusetts, UMass finding themselves in a hole early in this game. Just a 1-point deficit so far, but the shooting has not been exactly where the Minute Women want it to be. They're down 8-7 to the Broncos.
Well, it's those two Carlson wide open threes that have been the difference.
Starks gets fouled there by Lily Ferguson. That's 2 quick fouls for the senior. And it's just a game of being physical here, and Lily Ferguson lost that battle. Here's Carlson, the senior from Grand Rapids, Michigan. Into the corner, Olivia Flynn, back to Carlson. Now to the top of the key for Brusik. It's Mary Claire Brusick. That ball tipped into the air. Ayanna Franks nearly stole it away for UMass. It'll go out of bounds after a scrum, though, and the Minute Women do end up with it.
Yeah, you know, it's hard to judge back at this Western Michigan team where they're at because of the opponents they played in non-conference. Indiana, Michigan State, Dayton, Duquesne, some of the best teams
Pretty
in
remarkable.
all of college basketball.
Quick layup there. Megan Olbrey's a good find from her teammate. And UMass regains the lead. It's 9-8, but you're exactly right. Being these teams from the Midwest, you have to play a ridiculous non-conference schedule against Power 4 schools. Here's Western Michigan now with the ball. Olivia Flynn, top of the key, bounced it over to Kylie Starks. Starks now near side wing, over to Brusick. Brusick, top of the key. 4.3 points per game for her this season. Quick trigger corner three. Carlson at the last second,
Boy,
and she gets it to go.
Fire.
3 3-pointers for Allie Carlson. A good find to Megan Olbrey's underneath, and she'll get 2 free throws at the line on the other end. But Carlson's been making this engine run. 9 of Western Michigan's 11 points.
One thing I've noticed on the UMass offense is they can't stop Megan Olbrey's right now. She's getting to the paint at will, converting, drawing contact, just doing such a good job. You know, Megan Olbrey is number 1 on this team for free throw attempts. So she's getting to the line at a high clip, you know, making things happen down low. So, you know, she was the expected leader of this team, but she's done it at such a good job.
Absolutely. Olbrey's misses the first of 2. One of her few struggles this year has been at the free throw line, just 68%. She was up over 75 last season. She hits the second of 2 to make it a 11-10 game in favor of Western Michigan. UMass trapping here. Allie Palmieri doing a good job. Now McHale, Franks, but Carlson's able to get it over into their half court. Quick shot from Bolds, and that's no good. UMass going the other way. Fake out move, Yamani McHale. Nice feed to Chanae Odenabo. That was remarkable. She contorted her body midair and found her open teammate.
Boy, falling backwards towards the baseline on the opposite side, finding Odenabo, that is special.
Starks, another open layup attempt. That'll land in the hands of Bolds. We'll call a jump ball on that. It should favor UMass. So, fortune favoring UMass in those last couple of instances. But, wow, what a pass and what a finish from Chanae Odenabo. Exactly what Mike Leffler's looking for.
I mean, Yamani McHale is one of the best passers in this conference, number 5 in the conference in assists per game. So you know how good she is with passing, but it's her athleticism, weighing to contort her body, like you said, Beckett, just moving different ways, driving into the paint, kicking out. It's the full package when you talk about Yamani McHale.
So they are setting up to give Western Michigan the ball. All right. The referees discuss it and say, no, it's UMass basketball. Western Michigan just got possession on the last jump ball, so that seems to make sense to us. Of course, we have issues with the possession arrow, as many of you may know. Yamani McHale, far side wing now for UMass. Under 3 minutes to go in the first. She'll slow her roll around the free throw line. Now to Palmieri, open 3, no good from the corner. Kylie Starks bringing the ball up for Western Michigan. Hands it off Carlson. Carlson near side wing. Now gets it over to Wilkes. Wilkes tries to find her teammate in the paint, but Allie Palmieri skies up and grabs that ball away. Bounces it into Megan Olbrey's. Olbrey's working on Wilkes in the painted area. Picks up her dribble, throws it out. Palmieri now left-hand drive. Bounce pass Odenabo. Oh, yeah.
Allie Palmieri, this is the definition of a leader. Not shooting the ball well. Missed a 3 on the last possession. Gets the steal and then the beautiful pass to Odenabo on the other end. Just so special by the grad student.
Back-to-back beautiful feeds from her teammates as Starks takes an open corner 3. No good there. And Chanae Odenabo is 3 of 4 with 6 points in the first quarter. Nearly saves that miss from Yamani McHale, but that'll go out of bounds. UMass loses possession there. One of the fans in the second rows of seats is going to have to help the referees get that basketball.
when Leffler talked about this Western Michigan team, he spoke of a balanced team that runs a lot of sets, but really didn't know how MAC teams played overall. Said, I'm going to figure this out in the next couple of weeks, but I don't really know yet.
Emma DeBarbare into the game, and that pass attempted to get to her, but stolen away by Allie Palmieri once again. Step back two-pointer, Yamani McHale, and that misses everything. McHale is not happy with how that shot came off her hand.
Yeah, I thought that was doing a little too much for McHale. I thought she had a lane to the hoop or maybe just a stop and pop mid-range, but she tried to fade away with really nobody around her. I feel like when she saw nobody was around her, she got a little surprised, and that shot was very errant.
Well, a quick sub for Mike Leffler. She'll hit the bench. Ayanna Perkins coming into the game for the Minute Women. DeBarbare to inbound for Western Michigan. Now over to Mukira Orb. Now Carlson, near side wing. Palmieri face guarding her. 21 seconds on the shot clock. 23 left to go in the first quarter. Now back to Mukira Orb. Far side wing, Starks. Kira Orb drives with her left, back to Starks. 5 seconds on the shot clock. Somebody's going to have to take it. Carlson, near side wing. She'll just chuck it up. And that nearly went in, but just a little strong off the back iron. Here's Perkins into the game. Still shooting 50% from three this season, albeit on just 18 attempts. Under a minute to go. They'll give Perkins the ball. Bounce pass into Olbreeze. A step inside the three-point line. Lobs it into Odenabo. Open two-pointer once again. UMass leads by 5.
How about it? Getting Chanae Odenabo in the paint, letting her make things happen. It's so fun to watch.
23 seconds on the shot clock. 29 on the game clock. A steal. Perkins has Carlson behind her. She'll throw up the layup with the right hand on the left side of the basket, but it goes in. Good finish there from Ayanna Perkins, making an immediate impact for these Minute Women. Starks in the corner, under 10 seconds to go. Now to Carlson. Carlson over to Bowles. Now back into the corner for Starks. She'll drive baseline, throw it up at the last second, and that won't go. So a great turnaround in that second half. The bench pieces really came into play, but so far, it's been the Chanae Odenabo game. 4 of 5 from the field, 8 points in that first quarter.
Yeah, and how many times have we said this? Defense turning into offense. That's what this team does so well, a 9-0 run from that, and it's been all of Allie Palmieri dishing, playing defense to Chanae Odenabo, and it's been fun to watch.
It sure has. We'll take a break, and we'll be back for the start of the second quarter here on the WMUA Sports YouTube. Back here in Amherst, UMass leads 18-11 over the Western Michigan Broncos in their first ever MAC game. They ended that period on a 13-5 run.
You know, Beckett, this is obviously the start of a journey for these Minutewomen, but it's sure fun to see them put on a 9-0 run late in that first quarter.
Well, the Minutewomen were talking about their New Year's resolutions. I'm sure their favorite would be a win on their first game in MAC play. A miss by Starks to begin the quarter. And now Allie Palmieri pushing the pace. Into the finishes through contact.
It's so fun to watch Allie Palmieri command an offense. The bullet pass to Lily Ferguson inside and watching her contort her body to get a bucket.
Western Michigan gets it over the timeline. Now Allie Harness into the game for the first time. Tries to bounce it in to her teammate Ariana Wilkes, but they'll call a foul on Chene Odenabo on the reach in there. Of course, we talked about how impressive of a first quarter that was for Chene Odenabo, but one thing we always have to mention is her needing to stay out of foul trouble. She did foul out of the last game UMass played in. Inbound to Starks here. Odenabo alters the shot defensively, and Ayanna Franks comes down with it. 9:06 to go in the second. Allie Palmieri, quick trigger three, no good. And now Western Michigan goes the other way. Here's Brusek. Into the far wing, Kylie Starks. Starks, the leading scorer on this team. Now over to Harness. Harness back into the corner for Starks. She drives baseline, bounces it into the corner for Mukira Orb, who misses that one, but Starks able to come up with the rebound and blows the open layup.
Another wide open missed layup for the Broncos.
Quick floater, Yamane McHale gets her own miss, puts it right back up and does it again. Lily Ferguson nearly saves it, but that'll go out of bounds off her foot.
Yeah, that was sloppy from both teams. McHale had two wide open floaters, missed both of them. And then on the other end, Starks, who's one of the best players on this team, if not the best player on this Broncos team, blows a wide open layup after getting an offensive rebound.
Well, UMass and Western Michigan last December 22nd against Ohio State, where they lost by 38. Here's Kylie Starks, now to the top of the key. They'll call a travel on that. She tried to bounce it into her teammate, Allie Carlson, but just one too many steps there from the Evanston, Illinois native. Megan Olbrey's checking back into the game. Odenabo taking a seat for Mike Leffler. 8:08 to go in the second quarter. UMass now with a 9-point lead. It's 20-11. Yamane McHale throws it over near side wing. Ayanna Franks. Now Ferguson top of the key. Back to McHale. Perkins wide open three. Oh yeah. Ayanna Perkins continues her hot shooting.
You know, she's starting to become a sniper for this team. Such a good three-point shooter. It always looks composed when she gets the basketball.
Now over 50% from deep this season. Into the corner, Carlson wide open. That misses everything.
Boy, that didn't look like the first quarter.
Sure did not, and Franks is going to move quickly into the corner. Now to Perkins. Over to Ferguson. Ferguson trying to get it into Olbrey. She does. Olbrey's spin around, turn around, up and in. 25-11. UMass leads by 14. A steal. Yamane McHale jumps the passing lane. Franks up ahead. A travel called there on the transition attempt from Ayanna Franks.
Boy, I thought she had a wide open layup. It seemed like she second guessed herself when she went up, maybe.
Western Michigan gets it right back. Starks into the corner, now tries to drive baseline. Back to Carlson. Carlson now around the charity stripe. Mukira Orb tries a three, no good once again.
You know, it seems like the Broncos have good sets. They're doing a good job moving the rock around. But UMass are there every single time.
Good find from Ferguson to Olbrey's. Another spin around. She gets fouled on that attempt as The ball goes 30 feet up into the air above the shot clock. Looks a little Steph Curry-esque on that one. So Megan Olbreys will go to the line for two. She's 1 for 2 there today. Chineo Denebo checking back in for UMass.
I never thought I'd be comparing a Western Michigan Bronco to the Steph Curry. But more on the field goal percentage thing. Western Michigan, not great in terms of their field goal percentage. 36.2 on the season. That's 11th in the MAC. Whereas UMass, opponent field goal percentage, first in the MAC. They're only allowing opponents to shoot 34.9%. That is pretty impressive.
Yeah, you know it's bad when that's lower than their actual percentage, too. As the second rolls around and in, so Megan Olbreys goes 2 for 2 from the line that time. Starks up ahead. They like to move quickly here. Now to Carlson. Carlson, top of the key, guarded by Perkins. Picks up her dribble. Throws it into the corner from Akira Orr. Now, low side block. That's Wilkes. Ball's on the ground. Megan Olbreys dives for it, hands it off to Franks. Here's McHale moving quickly, throws it up for anyone, and Megan Olbreys somehow able to come down with it. Denebo, once again, another find inside. 10 points for Chineo Denebo, a season high for her, just in the first 14 minutes.
Beckett, when the ball hits the deck, who is the first body on the floor? 2 times in that sequence, it was Megan Olbreys. She found her teammate Chineo Denebo on the block, and she did the rest. Wow, it is fun to watch the effort of this team on full display.
6:04 to go in the third quarter. UMass leads 29-11. They have outscored Western Michigan 11-0 in the second quarter, and Megan Olbreys has 9 points, 3 rebounds, and 3 assists. We might be looking at Megan Olbreys' triple-double watch today.
We might, and she has been so good. And, Mike Leffler talked about the development of her as well. Last year, her first year with the program, she was someone that was in the low block, playing defense, good defender. But now she's kind of transitioned to someone that's around the perimeter, can knock down the three. She's shooting 50% from downtown this year, 6 for 12. So it's so fun to watch her development, Chineo Denebo's development, because remember, specifically with Odenebo Beckett, she's going to be here next year. Her and McHale are going to have to run this offense next year. There's going to be no Ali Palmieri. There's going to be no Megan Olbreys. There's going to be no Lily Ferguson. So it's up to Odenebo to develop, or else it might be too late, and you can see her taking the onus for herself.
Absolutely. And you can also, having Megan Olbreys along the wings, you can see what a difference the spacing of this team is when you have Chineo Denebo hovering on that low block, allowing Megan Olbreys to stay up top or go into the corner or even take an elbow jumper. It's been really sensational to watch in real time, and this is, in my opinion, unequivocally been Chi's best game this season.
Yeah, for sure, but it's also about both of them being unselfish. They know what their strong suits are. For Meg, it's getting in that low block, hitting the mid-range shot. That's what she's good at. She could keep doing that, pad her stats a little bit, but she said, no, I'm going to expand my game out, hit the three-point shot, work on that, and boy, this team looks so much better with that.
They sure do, and what a change of events has come through the last 12 minutes or 14 minutes of play. Western Michigan had a lead in this game, and now UMass closing in on a 20-point lead. Carlson loses the ball immediately. Odenebo gets the miss and puts it up and in. And that is now 12 points for Chineo Denebo. Unbelievable.
That wasn't easy, Beckett. She had to fight through pressure, contact to get that shot up. She did it with perfection.
And now UMass leads by 20. It's 31-11. Not pulling any punches in their first ever MAC conference game. Carlson, far side wing, tries to throw it into Wilkes, and they'll call the foul on Yamani McHale.
That's actually a smart foul by McHale because Wilkes obviously a lot taller and bigger and stronger than McHale is. So you take the foul, live to fight another day, don't give up the easy bucket.
Wilkes is 6 inches taller than McHale is as listed height, and yet McHale was able to hold her back there. Pretty impressive. Here's Carlson, now into Wilkes. Dump off pass into the paint, and that'll go. That's Mary Claire Brusick.
Yeah, good call by Kate Actor to just find a mismatch on McHale. They did it twice. One, they surrendered a foul, but the second one, easy bucket.
And for Western Michigan, their first points of the quarter. Megan Olbreeze tries a three. Why not? Megan Olbreeze, you talked about her being 50%. Make it better than that. She's now 7 of 13 from deep this season.
Math, Beckett. Math.
We're getting there, trying to do it live.
Almost as beautiful as that arc on the shot.
Absolutely. She loves that top of the key three.
Has she ever taken a three not from the top of the key?
In the Army game, we saw one. I remember
Okay.
making mention of it. Pretty unbelievable. Brusick will try one on the other end, top of the key. No good. Stark's able to save it. Now back into the corner, now near side wing. Magura Orb. Here's Carlson, picks up her dribble. Now back to Makira Orb into the corner. Stark's open three, no good off the side of the rim and out. Allie Palmieri moving quickly. Yamani McHale to her right. Tries to throw the no-look pass, but Carlson does a really good job of getting back there.
Yeah, good hustle by her, but I want you to notice, Beckett, the adjustment that Mike Leffler made on defense. Saw the mismatch they were trying to put on McHale. Immediately switched to the zone defense so McHale doesn't get in that position again.
Yamani McHale goes up strong through contact, but unable to finish that time. Makira Orb now to Wilkes, top of the key. Near side wing for Olivia Flynn. Into the paint, Wilkes, a block by Megan Olbreeze. Not in my house, says Megan there.
Hey, Beckett, good luck when you're down in the paint with Chanae Odenabo and Megan Olbreeze surrounding. Oh my goodness, it's like the Eiffel Tower and the World Trade Center right next to you.
Inbound here to nobody except Allie Palmieri. She'll bounce it off to McHale. McHale, scoop layup is good. That one nearly got a little scary and running back on defense yet again, but Yamani McHale just so smooth finishing. 36-13. UMass up by 23. Carlson now to Brusick. Tries to throw an inside pass, but Chanae Odenabo gets her hands on it. A foul will be called there, though, on the loose ball. They'll put it on Megan Olbreeze there.
You know, it's so interesting, the depth of other teams that UMass have played this season. Some teams only having 8 active players, 9 active players. UMass having a bench where Leah Bullard has barely played this season, but she's one of the great transfers that they acquired this year.
Tells you how lucky they are. Long-range three. Mukira Orb from about 3 feet outside the three-point line, and that one will go. Allie Palmieri, quick trigger from the corner. That'll go just the same. Anything you can do, I can do better, Allie Palmieri says. And under 3 minutes to go, UMass leads 39-16. Foul on the other end. That will be Brusick going to the line for Western Michigan as Jess Ross looks to check in for the first time.
You know, that's a sweet spot for Allie Palmieri. I've always thought the catch and shoot three for her in the corner is where she thrives. You know, it's tough for her. She's trying to take these shots off the dribble, try to create space herself. I don't think that's her game. But when she catches and shoots from the wing or the corner, she is lethal, Beckett.
Brusick misses the first off the front rim. Well, you're exactly right. We saw that in their last game. Allie Palmieri hit a clutch three-pointer with 3 seconds to go against Youngstown State. And just wasn't able to win the game off that alone, but just so impressive showing her ability. Brusick missed both at the line. Here's Ayanna Franks. She gets fouled on her drive going to the basket. That will be the first team foul for the Broncos. No, the second team foul. I was correct the first time. So under 3 minutes to go here. Jess Ross, quick trigger three in the corner. No good. Out of bounds. Unsure who it's off of. Looks like it'll stay UMass ball. What a play there from Franks to save that ball, throwing it off of the Western Michigan defender.
We've seen Jess Ross hit a 3 this season. She is 1 for 4, so it's not something she's incapable of. So a little surprised to see the air ball after the set play.
I was going to say, she's very capable. I think just the corner, she had just came in. Anyway, here's Yamani McHale into Palmieri. 3 seconds. Palmieri has to put it up. And that'll be a shot clock violation. Looks like she wanted a foul called. Megan Olbrey's doing a great job as the captain she is, grabbing her teammate and saying, let's just keep moving.
Yeah, I love that for Megan Olbrey. That's the first thing we both noticed, the leadership that she possesses for this team.
Into the corner, Flynn. Now top of the key, Carlson. She's been quiet since the first quarter. I think they'll say Mugira Orb stepped on the sideline. So it'll be Jess Ross to inbound for Yamani McHale. 39-16, still the score. UMass shooting 48% in this game and 40% from downtown.
UMass are also on a 30-5 run.
Franks, another foul. Say that one more time, Zeke.
30-5. They were down 2 points. Down 2 points at one point in this game. They went on a 9-0 run to end the first quarter, and it's been all Minutewomen
Wow.
since.
Wow. What a stat. Bounce pass into Palmieri. Palmieri step back, thinks about the 2, but instead gets it into Olbrey's. Olbrey's over into the corner for McHale. 10 seconds on the shot clock. McHale has to do something quick. Looks for a screen from Megan Olbrey's. Now around the charity stripe. Passes it off Megan Olbrey's. 2 seconds. Has to put it up. Another shot clock violation for UMass. That's back-to-back possessions. But really, with the lead that they have, that's not the end of the world for Mike Leffler.
Yeah, good defense by Western Michigan. You got to give them credit. They're still fighting, playing as hard as they can.
Olbrey's nearly another steal for the Minutewomen. But it lands back in the hands of Western Michigan. Here's Olivia Flynn. She'll try to drive, throw it into the corner. Carlson thought about the 3 and said she'll pass it off. Back to Flynn. Now Carlson again playing hot potato with her teammate. And before she got the pass off to Demijah Bolds, they'll call her for the travel. Carlson trying to plead her case with the referee, but it will be UMass basketball. That's turnover number 12 for Western Michigan in this first half.
Bolts, not a point yet this game, just a rebound. One of the most complete players on this team. Really hasn't done anything so far in this game. UMass keeping her quiet.
I think that goes to show you how impressive this UMass defense has been so far. Just nobody really having any fun for this Western Michigan team aside from Allie Carlson, and she hasn't scored in several minutes.
You know, watching the film, Beckett, I thought Bolts probably one of the most defensive, solid presences they had. She gets rebounds on a very consistent clip, but it's been really nothing for her today.
Franks tried a quick tip in on the inbound, but that went to no avail. And on the other end, Western Michigan right there gets fouled and goes to the line. And, you know, it might be hard to tell. We are obviously doing this streaming on YouTube, so it's a little different vibe for us today. But a great crowd, really, for New Year's Eve at the Mullen Center.
Yeah, I think this is the largest crowd we've seen all year. Obviously,
I would agree.
After the game, there's going to be layup lines for the kids, a little celebration for everyone. And we just wish all our WMUA YouTube streamers and listeners a happy new year and hope everything's well at home with your families. And yeah, that's it.
Absolutely. So back to basketball. Under a minute to go in period number 2. UMass leading 39-18. 22 seconds on the shot clock. Perkins throws it into the corner for Franks. Now into Olbrey's. Olbrey's getting smacked around there, and they will have a foul called. One of the referees had to overrule the other, and a foul called there against Western Michigan. That'll be their 4th team foul, so not into the bonus just yet. Olbrey's gets the inbound, passes it off to Perkins. Perkins brings it up to the Power U logo. 33 seconds to go in the half. Olbrey's 10 seconds on the shot clock. Now back to Perkins. Perkins, left-hand dribble drive, puts it up with the right, and that will go. Such an impressive freshman is Ayanna Perkins. Now,
you can see the skill, Beckett, but you can also see the muscle on her. She drives her way into the paint using all her muscle to just back off Western Michigan players at will.
under 10 seconds here in the half. Carlson trying to make something happen for Western Michigan. Throws it up off glass, and that'll go. Here's Perkins, last second heave. Will not go. So UMass doubling up Western Michigan at the half. It's 41-20.
And I don't think I've ever seen Mike Leffler smiling going into halftime, but today it's just that a New Year's celebration is in store here at the Mullen Center. UMass going on a 41-20 run to start this game in the first half.
Well, it's been a celebration of the front courts today. Megan Olbreeze and Chanae Odedabo, both 12 points for the Minutewomen. They have been sensational. We'll take a break for halftime. No halftime show for you this time, but we'll be back on the other side of 15 minutes here on the WMUA Sports YouTube channel. Back here after the break on the WMUA Sports YouTube. Thank you for everyone joining us today, and so sorry that we're not on the radio where we normally are, but still getting things done here, just like the Minute Women, who are up 41-20 to begin the second half of basketball. Zeke Altman, Beckett Story here with you.
You know, the term Christmas miracle, this is not a miracle. It would be a miracle for Western Michigan to come back in this one with the way Chineye Odenigbo is playing.
And that right there, 2 points from Chineye Odenigbo to start the third quarter, and that ties her career high with 14 in a game. What a sequence for Chineye.
Wow. And it's just so fun to watch. Like you said, like we said, the top of the show, during the show, it's just getting her to the low block, getting her on the basketball to make plays.
And really, we knew once she started hitting them at a 50% or higher clip, the sky was the limit for a player like her. Here's Starks, turns the corner, now throws it out to her teammate Carlson. Carlson, top of the key, now moves left, hands it off to Mukira Orb. Mukira Orb, stutter step on Chineye Odenigbo, throws it into the corner. Carlson tosses it up with 1 second.
You know, Beckett, you know it's a wacky possession when the cross-court pass grazes the net.
And apparently that shot doesn't even count because she stepped on the sideline out of bounds. So 43-20, still the same score. UMass by 23 points. 9:05 to go in the third quarter. Olbreeze into Odenigbo, tries to play tips with Allie Palmieri, and that pass, not a good one, out of bounds into the first row of seats.
You know, you're up 23. You're obviously the superior team. It's now time to see what works, see what doesn't. You know, working around their play calling, working different sets against a MAC team. This is a MAC opponent they are playing against.
Over to the far wing for Mukira Orb. Now crosses it over. Starks. Starks far side wing, Mukira Orb. That one won't go. Saved by Ayanna Franks, and that'll be a foul on Western Michigan.
Boy, in Western Michigan, like we said before, you have to respect their effort. They're diving for loose balls, trying to play aggressive. It's just not enough against such a talented, gritty, offensive team like UMass.
Here's Franks, turns the corner on that low block. Now over to Olbreeze, open for a far wing three, and that won't go. She falls back down to 50%. Franks guarding Carlson, now hands it off. Mukira Orb, now far side wing. Passes it back to Carlson, top of the key. Hot potato between those two, back to Orb. Now Starks. Over into the corner, it's Orb once again, and that shot misses everything, but her teammate's able to stick with it. She'll try it one more time. Front rim and down. That'll be a foul called. Ariana Wilkes will be on the receiving end of that as UMass commits their first foul of the period.
And you know what's great to see is Mike Leffler sticking to his rotation, being confident in the rotation he puts out. Chineye Odenigbo has 14 points, but she's the first person to sub out in the second half, like she does every single game.
And the inbounds there from the Broncos, again, not a good one. Immediate turnover for them. UMass has possession once again. UMass scoring 2 points in their first look in the quarter thus far. After that, nothing doing. 43-20, still the score. Foul is going to be called. Be on 33, Mukira Orb. So that will leave UMass baseline out of bounds. Yamani McHale throws it in. Megan Olbreeze thinks about the quick trigger. They'll say she traveled there.
Caught in two minds there, Beckett. Had the free throw, mid-range jumper, but a good closeout by Western Michigan. She tried to change her mind at the last second, but she was already flying through the air.
Well, she loves that quick trigger too. But just that time, it was not open. Oh, hard shot to the face for Ayanna Franks, and she takes it like a champ and gets the offensive foul called her way.
And it seems like when we watch Ayanna Franks, she enjoys those like a champ as well. Just putting her body up for her team, making big plays, playing good defense. It's just so fun to watch how surgical she is on the defensive end.
Franks scoreless in this game, but still has had plenty of impact. Here's Yumani McHale. Tries to throw it to the corner for Franks. Good hands there by Mukira Orb to knock it out of bounds. It'll stay UMass basketball.
Last year's team, Beckett, they lacked a little athleticism. They were a good team, good built. Steph Kuleja, Megan Olbreeze, but they lacked athleticism. They went out and got Franks in the portal, and she has been earned. Wow, those are her first 2 points.
She never has anything easy, does Ayanna Franks. A stutter step, shimmy layup. She's able to finish with the left hands for her first of the game, like you mentioned, Zeke. Here's Stark. She gets blocked at the rim. That one by Megan Olbreeze, and that had some ferocity behind it.
And that was one of those NBA 2K snatch blocks by Megan Olbreeze. She read that shot all the way.
Still stays Broncos basketball, and that time a foul called on Megan Olbreeze on the push. So that's 3 on the senior. So she'll take a seat. Jess Ross coming back in. Mike Leffler does not want to risk it. She will likely sit the majority of the rest of the third quarter if she can. Jess Ross, a steal ends up right in her hands, and that'll go down on the stat sheet nicely for her. Franks into the corner. Palmieri, quick trigger. Oh, yeah.
Catch and shoot in the corner, Ali Palmieri. I don't know how many words that was, but that is the sentence that defines Ali Palmieri on the offense.
Palmieri's 2 makes today from the corner. She's been much more efficient. Here's McHale again to Palmieri. Palmieri thinks about it, now takes a quick 2 on the pull-up. No good, but Lily Ferguson able to save it for UMass. McHale, near side wing, thought about the 3, stutter step, pull-up 2-pointer, no good off the front and back of the rim. Here's Carlson, hands it off. Kira Orb, now to Wilkes. Wilkes top of the key. Back to Carlson, near side wing. Kira Orb drives with the left hand, throws up a floater off glass, no good, but she will get 2 shots at the line, and Western Michigan has a chance to score its first points of the quarter.
Yeah, Mukira Orb, she facilitates well on this team. She hit a 3 earlier in the game, and she continues to be someone that's confident in her ability for Western Michigan despite the 28-point deficit.
Averaging 6.7 points per game, 2.3 rebounds, and 2 assists on the season. Missed all of last season to injury, so it's been a bit of working herself back into the flow of playing Division I college basketball this year.
And this is someone, as a freshman, started 10 games and played 30. So she was a big part of the rotation 2 years ago.
And I think one of the interesting things about this Western Michigan team, obviously we've seen some of the inconsistencies on their offensive approach, but every one of their top players can give you 15, 20 points. Mukira Orb led the team in scoring in the loss to Roosevelt, 17 points, 5 rebounds, and 2 steals in that game. Everyone can have a high-scoring game, but the question is when it comes. Perkins, pass it off Ferguson. Far side wing for Yamani McHale now. McHale, bounce pass into Ferguson. That one a little too long, but Ferguson able to jump down on it. McHale open 3 now. No. Foul on the floor. It will be on Western Michigan. So UMass will keep possession, but what a wild sequence of events, right?
Was squirming right towards a Bronco, but Lily Ferguson comes flying in. I mean, you shouldn't be surprised anymore when she basically spawns into a play because of her effort.
Absolutely. Does so much that doesn't show up on the stat sheet. Here's Ferguson inside, gets fouled there, and she'll get 2 shots at the line.
So look at here, Beckett. You see Chineo Denebo and Megan Olbreeze, the 2 leading scorers, stars of this game, on the bench. What does UMass go to? Just Lily Ferguson and Jess Ross, 2 players that have played high-level Division I basketball for a long time. That's the difference between this team and last year's team, the depth that they have at all levels. and the difference between this team and every other team they've played and every other team in the MAC pretty much.
Absolutely. You can see how much of a difference the depth makes as Lily Ferguson hits 2 of 2. UMass now leads 50-22 in this game. And Ferguson, the best free throw shooter on the team, minimum 10-plus attempts. She's over 88% this season. So now crossing under 5 minutes in the third quarter, Western Michigan with just 2 points so far through 5 minutes in this period. Here's Harness, and she'll travel on that attempt. Western Michigan doing a good job using up clock, but just unable to figure out how to get the ball in the basket, and a timeout will be called.
Yeah, Mike Leffler happy with his team right now, just giving them good jobs, high fives, let's goes. It's all fun right now in Amherst.
It sure is. So we'll take a quick break here on the WMUA YouTube. It's 50-22. UMass leads. Back in Amherst, Massachusetts, Beckett Story, Zeke Altman finally in screen for all of you. And UMass with the 50-22 point lead, under 5 minutes to go here in the third quarter. Here's Ayanna Perkins, passes it off. Jess Ross, top of the key. Now Ayanna George, that one out of bounds off of UMass.
So many Ayannas, Anayas on this team.
Ayana,
it's tough.
It's brutal, but we gotcha. Anaya George into the game for the Minute Women. Mukira Orb passes it off. Now to Allie Harkness. Harness trying to get a screen from her teammate. She passes it off instead. Back to Harness, top of the key. Now to the far side wing. Western Michigan just playing keep away right now. Olivia Flynn, near side wing. Long range three at the end of the buzzer. No good there. That one was an absolute long range missile there. George for two on the low block. That'll go. Good sign for her.
It's going to be great to watch Anaya George and Ayanna Perkins at the top of this zone on defense and commanding this offense. They are the future of this program at these positions.
UMass with a 30-point advantage. Here's Flynn, an open three. Moving too quickly there, and Perkins ends up with it. Ayanna Perkins into the corner. Allie Palmieri had some space, didn't take it. Instead gives it back to Perkins. Perkins will try the mid-range two-pointer. George skies up to stay with that ball, and Ferguson comes down with it. A foul will be called, it looks like, on Ferguson's shot attempt. But what a great job by those two to keep that ball alive.
You can see the identity of this team is contagious. Anaya George jumping in there, getting a loose ball. Lily Ferguson there as well. And I guarantee you, Leah Bullard, who's checking into this game, is going to do the same. This team is so built for everyone to succeed. And what I mean succeed is play hard defensively and on the glass.
Absolutely. This team, it's always been the intangibles with this team. They have so much heart, so much fight, so much ferocity. I used that word earlier, but it is true. And this team genuinely does not want to lose a single game. So they will do everything if they're up 31 points like they are right now. Ferguson takes the seat for UMass, and the leading scorer today checks back in, Chineye Odenabo. Here's Western Michigan. Allie Harness. Now to Mukira Orb. Tries to get it in to Brusick. Brusick fouled on that shot attempt, and she'll get to it the line. But now, Western Michigan doing a good job finding the ball, getting it inside, down low, and trying to generate points at the free throw line.
Yeah, Brusick doing a good job as well, just getting that basketball and rising. And she's been rising her whole life. One of the best volleyball players in the MAC, a two-sport athlete. So impressive to see there. And she was the 2025 All-MAC first-team volleyball player, 2024 All-MAC second team. Boy, it seems like if they can get more of these volleyball-level players on their basketball team, they'll be in for a treat.
Sure will. That's going to be out of bounds off of Western Michigan. That's just so impressive. We saw that a few weeks ago. I believe it was at Army, the multi-sport athlete.
I think it was at Boston College.
Okay.
Emma Lopinto
Yes,
was a player
you're
at
right.
Boston College that was a
Also played-
USA lacrosse player. Didn't even come to the game because she was in Florida with USA lacrosse.
Gotta wonder how hard it is to refine your craft at two different collegiate sports. But Allie Palmieri gets the line as UMass is in the bonus now.
Well, it's also, as a student athlete, you have to focus on school and sports. But it's something that Mike Leffler said. This has been a lot easier because they're really not focused on school right now. Obviously, winter break. They're more comfortable just having the main priority of basketball.
Absolutely, and that's exactly what you want from these players. I mean, you want them to treat this like it's their full-time job, and most of these players do, but of course you do have to keep in mind they have homework assignments that are due.
We don't do homework, right, Beckett?
No, of course not. Western Michigan under 6 seconds on the shot clock, driving baseline now into the corner. Open three-pointer, no good, and Allie Palmieri able to come away with it for UMass. Under 2:30 to go. Palmieri moving quickly. Right-handed scoop layup is good.
That was tough. Allie Palmieri through traffic, the finger roll, underhanded layup through traffic. Wow.
Palmieri's the third Minutewoman in double figures today. She's up to 10. Here's Western Michigan. A Euro step on that attempt. It'll go out of bounds. They just seem a little deflated here. I don't blame them with the score being where it is.
Yeah, and they have some of their bench players in. Obviously, Wilkes, Bolds, Starks, and Carlson all out of the game right now, just trying to see what combinations work.
Palmieri in between the wing and the corner. Gets it in. Odenabo puts it up. No good there. Saved by Leah Bullard. She gets blocked. That'll go right into the hands of Mary Claire Brusick. Going the other way. Here's DeBoubere. And that'll go in. First points for her today. Of course, we haven't gotten to talk about her much, but her family history is pretty interesting too.
Yeah, I mean, her dad, Emiliano Gonzalez, one of the top 50 Euro basketball players of all time.
It runs in the family. That one going out of bounds off Mukira Orb. So UMass forcing another turnover. Mike Leffler looking to check back in Megan Olbreeze and Yamani McHale here. A bit of a surprise,
Yeah.
if I do say so myself, being up 33 points in this game. Western Michigan still only have scored 4 points in the quarter, all 4 coming from the free throw line, not one field goal made. Perkins, far side wing. To Allie Palmieri now, top of the key. Palmieri bounces it into Odenabo. Odenabo, you can see, talking much more than she used to. Perkins, bounce pass. Odenabo blows the layup there. That would have been her new career high.
Oh, my gosh.
But she might have more opportunities. You got to hope.
You could tell she was thinking of it, too. She got a little nervous going up.
And what a good move it was from her, too. The step through on the bounce pass from Perkins, but just unable to finish that time. So under 35 seconds here in the third. UMass leads 57-24 against the Western Michigan Broncos. Bit of a stolen pass there from Mukira Orb. And she just loses that. Dives on the floor. And now Yamani McHale wide open in the corner. Bounces off the top of the backboard. That'll be out of bounds. Just a little too open, you might think.
Yeah, she's been working on the catch and shoot three, something she's talked about as something she's emphasizing in her everyday workouts.
Mukira Orb throws it over. Cross-court pass. Wide open. Olivia Flynn. No good. Into the hands of Yamani McHale. Last second heave. Nearly goes in, but just a little too strong and to the left of the rim. So the score stands at 57-24 as we take the turn and head for home. 10 more minutes of basketball between University of Massachusetts and the Western Michigan Broncos here on the WMUA YouTube channel. Back here in Amherst, Beckett Story, Zeke Altman here on WMUA YouTube. Western Michigan just trying to make this game a little bit closer in the final 10 minutes. UMass with a commanding 33-point lead through 3 quarters of play. Starks back into the game for Michigan. Now into the corner, Allie Carlson is as well. Back Starks in between the wing and the corner. She'll drive towards the baseline, steps through over Megan Olbreeze, but unable to finish that time. Fights with her own teammate, Ariana Wilkes, for that ball. But they'll call a foul on Yamani McHale.
Yeah, Megan Olbrys wasn't happy with that call. It looked like it was just some fighting and scrapping and nails, but not really a foul I saw there. But I guess they call and Western Michigan get the inbound. All their starters back as well.
Wilkes hands it off to Carlson. Carlson over to Starks. Starks will drive with the right hand, go through two UMass defenders, and they'll call an offensive foul. Yamani McHale hitting the deck that time.
Yeah, it's not every day you see Yamani McHale taking the charge. Obviously, one of the smaller players on the team. Not saying she doesn't want to. It's just she's never in the position to. So
Rarely
great to
finds
see
herself in the
every single person wanting to put themselves in that position. Like you said,
Absolutely. It's a common occurrence as Wilkes gets the steal. She tries to put it up and in. Megan Olbrys going straight up, but she gets the foul called against her. So Wilkes will get 2 shots at the line.
You know, that's just an unfortunate position right there, Beckett, as, you know, Wilkes goes up. Megan Olbrys' hands are right there in her shooting stroke, despite Megan Olbrys' hands being straight up.
One of those things Megan Olbrys will have to live with, and with 4 fouls, she's going to take a seat back on the bench. Ariana Wilkes, a 19.2% free throw shooter this season, as she hits the first of 2. Pretty remarkable stuff there.
And Wilkes in the MAC, number 8 in blocks per game, number 10 in rebounds per game. So one of the better players for this Western Michigan group.
Well, she did a good job on that steal attempt. Goes 1 of 2 at the line. And UMass back with the basketball. Lily Ferguson now passes it over to Ayanna Perkins. Perkins into Odenabo. Odenabo once more loses it. It'll go out of bounds. Off of UMass, says the referee. Mike Leffler, with as big of a lead as he has, still pleading his case emphatically.
You know, all the assistant coaches are hands in their head, just wanting Odenabo to get that her career high, and just inches away once again.
She is right on the cusp of that as she gets called for a foul there. Just the 3rd team foul for UMass early in this 4th quarter, so something they're going to have to watch out for. Don't want to give Western Michigan a ton of open shots. Here's Carlson, thought about the 3, didn't take it. Now passes out Kylie Starks. Starks, handoff to Makira Orb. She'll try it, rattles around the rim and out. No good on that 3-point attempt. 57-25. Yamani McHale crosses the paint, throws it out into the far side corner for Franks. That's no good. Lily Ferguson skies for the offensive rebound, though. And Franks moving on the cut there. Gets the pass from Ferguson, but unable to finish. Tried a scoop layup there, but unable to get it to go. So 57-25, still the score. 8 minutes to go in the 4th. Bolds now back into the game. Bolds been very quiet for Western Michigan today. Wilkes, top of the key, starts her drive on Odenabo. Good defense there, but a foul called after the shot is missed.
And you can see the lack of depth this game for Western Michigan. Obviously, they don't have the likes of Adelina Urtane, Lauren Odino, Marasha Wiggins, and Irene Trujillo. But they also missing Deanna Richardson, one of their better players, one of their better producers. Deanna Richardson, number 18 in rebounds per game in the MAC. And she has a lot of good stats for this team.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's at the point in the season, especially the start of conference play, as Wilkes hits the first, that you need to be healthy. That's such an important factor in trying to compete for a regular season title. And unfortunately, down 4 players, Western Michigan has looked a little thin at times.
I mean, UMass played a team in Army that sat their best player, Fiona Haystick, for the whole of non-conference play to get her ready for conference play. So it is so important.
Perkins, step back move, no good there, but Jess Ross able to save it. Puts it up real quick, no good. Lily Ferguson, 3rd time's the charm for UMass.
How about offensive rebounding once again from UMass? So consistent on that clip.
Absolutely. Winning the total rebounding battle 36-27. Of course, such an important factor in terms of second chance points. That's a good make there, Demijah Bolds. That's her first make of the day. Give her 2 points. And it's now 59-28. McHale over to Ross. Ross thought about a shot, hands it off. Ayanna Franks. Franks splits the defense, throws it up, and that'll be a foul called. A bit of a wild shot attempt there as she ran out of bounds, but able to get the foul in her favor, and she'll get 2 shots to the line.
And a great job there from Franks, just attacking the rim. That's something, we haven't seen often from her, but when she gets in her bag, you can see all the treats. She has such a good first step. She's so athletic, so fast, and the most important thing is she is strong.
We saw this from her a lot in the beginning of the season as she missed the first of 2 free throws. Early on, she was getting to the free throw line 6-8 times a game and really only hitting around 60%. So still something she needs to work on. The second is good for Ayanna Franks. Give her 3 points in the game, 5 rebounds, 2 assists to go with it. So 60-28, UMass up 32 on Western Michigan. That pass tipped right into the hands of Lily Ferguson off the tip from Jess Ross. Now Yamani McHale, wide open 3. You bet.
Catch and shoot, catch and shoot. This team getting so much better at that. And Yamani McHale, like I said before, been working on it so much.
McHale, 3 of 14 in this game, but 2 of 5 from beyond the arc. And they haven't needed her to make all those threes, as that one will go. Allie Harness on the other end. Harness's first make of the day. Palmieri, quick trigger, no good. Frank skies for the offensive board and puts it down. What a move.
And there is Ayanna Franks stuffed in a bottle. That is her game offensively, and she has earned the rest she is about to get as Anaya George and Ayanna Perkins ready to check back in.
Carlson, a beautiful step through triple. Nothing but net for her. She has been very good for this team today, up to 16 points. She leads all scorers in the game. Palmieri drives quickly, goes up with the right, and she gets a foul called in her favor.
So Palmieri had a good game on the catch and shoot 3, but also such a gritty game for her. Making the tough plays, driving in through contact, putting up shots, making steals, causing havoc on the defensive end. It's been a really complete game from her today, and you can see how much she wanted it.
Palmieri misses the first. Anaya George back into the game for UMass.
You know what those fans want, right? You know why they're so frustrated about the missed free throw, right?
Oh, 65 points. And now to 66 points with all the kids in the house. Leah Bullard looking to check back in for UMass on the next whistle as well. Carlson throws it out. That's Allie Harness now. Harness back to Carlson in the corner. That will not go, but Wilkes and Allie Palmieri get tied up. That'll be UMass basketball as the possession arrow favors the Minutewomen.
Allie Carlson was to get the shot off when Lily Ferguson is in your face.
Sure does. Never takes a play off, does Lily Ferguson. So now it's likely that Chene Odenabo is sitting for the rest of this ball game. Allie Palmieri loses the ball, lands into the hands of Starks, who's able to finish for 2, no problem, to make it 66-36.
Now it's time for some of these players on the back of UMass's bench to earn some minutes right now with Leah Bullard, Anaya George, and Jess Ross all out together.
Bullard sets a screen for Palmieri. Palmieri can't take it. Now over to Jess Ross. Jess Ross trying to float it into Bullard, but that pass, not a good one, and it gets swatted away.
It's going to be a media timeout here, Beckett. Before we go to break, Mike Leffler talked about how the players on this team have to earn the minutes. They can't just get them because, they need production. Obviously, Jess Ross was a factor of that, but she's earned the minutes in practice. Same with Anaya George, same with Leah Bullard, and they are getting their minutes late in this game. and they're playing pretty well.
They sure have. And just 4 minutes and 25 seconds separating UMass from its first ever conference win in the Mid-American Conference. We'll be back in just a few moments on the WMUA Sports YouTube. Back in Amherst on New Year's Eve, UMass leads 66-36 over the Western Michigan Broncos. And with 4:25 to go, Mike Leffler has emptied his bench. Leah Bullard into the game, spins around, turnaround shot, and that will go. Like to see that from Leah Bullard. A nice take there.
She has the talent. She has the ability to create her shot. It's just fun to watch her do it there, and just now trying to find consistency with that.
3, no good from Central Michigan. Western Michigan. Starks drives off the missed shot from the charity stripe, and she'll get fouled and go to the line for 2.
Beckett, get ready for that. Central Michigan, Western Michigan, Eastern Michigan. There is a Northern Michigan. They're just not on the map.
Of course. Well, something we're going to have to get ourselves to not saying correctly. Of course, UMass's next home game is against Central Michigan. As
But
Starks misses the first.
I do think Western Michigan's town is the best name out of all the Michigan schools. I mean, Kalamazoo is the most fun name to say.
Absolutely. Jess Ross skies for the rebound on the second miss. So now Perkins trying to get it over the timeline. She does with 3 seconds to spare. Under 20 seconds on the shot clock. 3:46 to go in the game. Perkins trying to kill the clock. Just throws it right into the hands of Allie Harness. Perkins has a 2-on-1 against her, but she blocks that shot. What a block of Allie Carlson. My goodness. Ayanna Perkins
That's what it's about,
had
Beckett.
2 offensive players coming back at her, and she was able to stand her ground and get the block.
My coaches, when I was in high school, always told me it's not about turning over the ball that matters. It's what you do after. Ayanna Perkins turns over the ball and then blocks the shot right after.
A nice move by Kylie Starks there to get 2 more. She's up to 6 points in this game on 3 of 15 shooting. 68-38. Over to Anaya George in the corner. Anaya George attempts to bounce it, I should say, into Jess Ross, but that one out of bounds, last touched by UMass.
As this game winds down, Beckett, something that Mike Leffler emphasizes, you are the newcomer to this league. Every single team in the MAC has to prepare for only one new team in UMass. Well, for UMass, they have to prepare for every single team that is a new team.
That's a very good point. A foul called on the loose ball. Wilkes on the receiving end.
And then Beckett, everything's a cadence, right? You're flying to new places, eating at new restaurants, creating new traditions, new time zones even. It's just everything's different that they have to prepare for. So it'll be interesting to see how they deal with that. But I'll say, Beckett, it looks good right now.
It sure does. Brooke Polpe and Eva Hannon, the two walk-ons into the game for UMass, placing Bullard and Jess Ross.
So look at 2:53 of action here.
68-39, the score. Wilkes hit the first of two. She misses the second. A rebound for Hannon. Perkins running the offense in the final 3 minutes. Over to George, far side wing. Now to Hannon. Hannon nearly loses it. Perkins gets it back. Hannon sets a screen for her. Perkins, little push off to Polpe, wide open three. Off the side of the rim and out. Lily Ferguson skies for that rebound and gets fouled.
I saw Lily Ferguson run with Hannon and Polpe to the table to check in. She looked so excited to play with the two walk-ons. She wanted this, and you can see her on the floor still diving despite being up 29 points with 2:31 left.
And of course, all of this is a learning opportunity for the four true freshmen that Lily Ferguson is playing with. So this must be a fun little big sister moment for her. Ferguson into the paint, bounces it. Hannon now open on that low block, and her team goes wild. Eva Hannon, her first collegiate points. Now Polpe and Hannon both defending, and Polpe getting the defensive rebound. UMass eclipsing 70 points on that make. Bounce pass into Ferguson from Perkins. They'll call a kickball violation. It'll stay UMass basketball.
We start to look ahead for UMass. Who they have next? They play Kent State on the road. Then they play Miami of Ohio on the road. So two solid games, but then a tough one at home against Central Michigan. I'll be on the call for that one. Becky, we don't know if you'll be there just yet. But then Akron right after that in the field trip game at 11 a.m.
And that one always so much fun, field trip day. A similar vibe to this, having so many players or children excited watching the game, as they'll call a travel.
See, that's doing too much.
George.
That's doing too much. Give the lady a drive to the hoop. Come on. As the ref just prances right next to me.
Leah Bullard looking to check back in for UMass, replacing Lily Ferguson.
No more fun, Lily. We don't want you to get injured.
Needs to sit down. She can't get hurt. Not in the first game of conference play. Here is Western Michigan. Allie Harness, far side wing, over to Starks. Starks into the painted area for Brusick. Back to Starks. She'll try her dribble drive. Ball tipped out of bounds by Perkins.
And look at the defensive effort once again. Ayanna Perkins tipping the ball out. Doesn't matter what minute, what the score is. They are playing with fire.
UMass not giving up on the defensive end. They don't want Western Michigan to eclipse 40 points in this game. Starks tries an open three. No good. Ball lost out of bounds. That'll be UMass basketball. A good attempt there from Allie Carlson, but
once again, contagious. Eva Hannon diving on the floor to get a loose ball, tipping it out of bounds off Western Michigan. It's contagious. Whether you're a walk-on or a rookie of the year in the A-10, you're playing with fire, playing with tenacity.
Bounce pass into Hannon from Queens, New York. Polpe open, top of the key. Oh, yeah. The two walk-ons make baskets in their moments in the final minute of this ball game.
Just fun to see, Beckett. Every player on this team making an impact. Eva Hannon with a block there.
Wilkes sticking with it, and so is Leah Bullard. Possession arrow favoring UMass.
Polpe with a three, Hannon with a block, Bullard diving on the floor. These are three players that don't get a lot of minutes, but it's the culture, the program that this team is creating that is so special to watch.
And it never hurts to know that you have a person who can hit a wide open three on your bench if you're Mike Leffler.
Credit to Brooke Polpe putting in the work.
Under 30 seconds now in the fourth quarter. Perkins trying to just let the clock run out. Bounces it to Bullard. Perkins takes it, will throw up the floater off glass, and Bullard comes down with the offensive rebound. She misses her layup, and there will be a foul called against UMass. Of course, Western Michigan in the bonus here, so 2 shots at the line for the Broncos.
As what could they possibly be talking about in the huddle?
Finish strong. Ariana Wilkes had some attempts at the free throw line in this second half. She's 3 of 6, which is much better than her season average. Like I said, right around 19% on the season as she misses the first of 2.
19%. That's pretty rough.
Yeah. 50% shooter from 3-point, but 19% from the free throw line.
Sometimes numbers are true but don't make sense.
Second is good for Wilkes. So Ayanna Perkins with under 10 seconds. The UMass bench is up and clapping. So are the Mullins faithful. The Minute Women win their first ever game in the MAC, and they begin their first season 9-2. And you can see how much it matters to them. 73-40, the final score today. Really a wire-to-wire victory, although they were down by a few points in that first quarter. But Zeke, what do you think about that performance?
You know, it's so funny. They kind of sleptwalk out of the gates, but then figured out, hey, we're UMass women's basketball, and we play tough and we play hard. And they turned on a switch, and it was fun to watch. And for the crowd that you're talking about, Beckett, this large crowd that has come to this game, when you're winning, you get a crowd. And they deserve this crowd.
Oh,
and as
they sure
keep winning and winning more, this Mullins faithful is going to pack this place and get loud. And it's going to be fun to watch this transpire over the next couple of weeks. But the key thing of this game, 1-0 in conference play.
Exactly right. 9-2 overall, 1-0 in conference play. It's fun to say we're finally there. But what a start for these Minute Women. They will look to continue their dominance next time out against Kent State on January 3rd. That'll be at 3:30 in Ohio. For Ezekiel Altman, I'm Beckett Story saying thank you so much for tuning into this broadcast of UMass Women's Basketball on WMUA Sports. We will talk to you soon.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.